it's Saturday, but to be honest, like just throwing it out there, I had a huge blowout argument with uh with my mom, and it basically went something along the lines of he say she say, neither can agree that they're in the wrong. So that's kind of just how it's what it's come down to. So what to do, I guess. Neither party will admit they're in the wrong, but in this case, I can tell you one thing for sure is that her narcissism has no end to it, at the very least. I may have it too, but at least I'm more self-aware. So, who's the real problem person over here? I can tell you it's probably not the guy that's self-aware about who he is, was, and am. But I quit my job, basically, and it started a lot of arguments, a lot of arguments with it, especially like who I chose to tell at the start of the whole thing. Really, really caused a lot of issues in the beginning.
Ty zabił pan Hunter!
And now it came to a point where I was like, you know, I have better things to do. I wanted to grind Tabor and shit, but then because of that, I like got held up for like what, 1 or 2 hours. So I'm down to 2 hours of getting level 65, but that's okay. I'll just play it into the night, since tomorrow I don't have to wake up at any crazy timings. Unlike next Monday, so I don't think I killed him. These things shouldn't really be that have such high armor pen, or at least you know, you shouldn't really be able to have Phoenix shoot through them like they're nothing. I've done many a scenario where I've almost died because it just so happened that like they were shooting me through these grills, through these railings or whatever that are like solid and you wouldn't be able to tell. But you know, because they had wall hacks, so it ended up that that I got shot through it, and then I would lose like 70% of my health, which is definitely interesting, because typically not even like regular Phoenixes hurt that much, and I'm starting to think that I might start needing to run one of the boss gears for this, and then, you know, to save on weight, I probably need to start carrying a gear tech or something just to make it lighter, because I'm not really bringing out anything of you know, very obvious worth anyways. It's mostly just taking out anything that's you know, anything that is a high tier item, so that I can capitalize on the loot. But I don't know. I've just been running the regular one. So we'll see. There's a very realistic chance that later into the day I'll stop for like dinner, and then I may start a stream up again, because I think I would like the to play into the night, and I might as well, you know, if I'm gonna, it depends on how far we can make it within these 3 hours actually, because if it's like yesterday and I can reach level 65 within this Saturday, then I don't really need to play the game anymore. Like, funnily enough, there's no real reason to play the game anymore once I reach level 65 to do the quest that I need to do. Once those are done, it's pretty much gonna be the end of White for me, and then I can finally start getting back to making other videos, and maybe a few extra you know, of these videos. You know, Tabor videos. Now we're talking. Hey, how you doing? Well, I don't know if you heard me talking about it just now, but like, I was like vehemently arguing with my mom and dad. Not my dad, but my mom before this, so I'm a little bit tired, because we just had a completely back and forth where she thinks she's completely in the right, I think I'm completely in the right, and then there's no resolution. So it just ended up both of us silently, collectively just decided, fuck it, that argument didn't exist, and then just exhausted ourselves. Hey USA. Bit of a shame, really. She could have been a semi-decent parent if she would actually admit to her wrongdoings, but she never will. So, and pair that with the incurable narcissism, we got bad news bears. You like bears? I like bears. So I can't believe this all started because I fucking told her that I quit my job first instead of telling my dad. Seriously, she gets so bent out of shape over the stupidest fucking things. Like telling my dad that me telling my mom that I quit. Me telling her that I quit my job first instead of instead of me telling my dad first. Because she's always seen it as I played favorites with my dad, even though that's which is not really the case. Talk it out. There's no talking it out. Yeah, we literally yelled at each other. There's literally no point in talking anymore. She's came to her conclusion, and I have stuck with mine. So, make it better. Well, I mean, I can talk about it, but unless you are firsthand witnessing the basic, like, what is going on here, it's very hard. I mean, I appreciate like, you know, attempting to give a solution, but unfortunately it's way more complicated than just being able to talk it out. But yeah, I do appreciate it. The power tripped. W, right? Connection terminated. Well, USA, the thing about raids is that they're quite common now. Like, as you can see, like if you hit raids, you're gonna get a refund. So it's not exactly like it's uncommon to do this couple of days. So yeah, I bet if you go to every other like streamer right now, they are probably also knocking out a raid. So, but thank you, man. Yeah, I mean, I can talk about it, I guess, since they told me that. So basically, I quit. Yeah, I quit my job. yesterday, or well, at least I put in my 2 weeks notice or whatever for it. Or not 2 weeks. I put in my 3-day notice for it because I decided that despite the pay being good, it's not really what I want to do. So you know, since it's in healthcare, naturally it's a little bit dangerous to be showing this interest. So I was protecting other people. I was protecting other people's protecting the people that I could have potentially hurt if I had, you know, not continued to stick to that job even if I didn't want it to. And so I told my mom first, and then my mom snitched on me to my dad, and she basically said something along the lines of she immediately snitched to my dad, and then she told him like what did you do wrong, and why is he telling me this first instead of you? Because typically I tell my dad things first, but quite frankly I was a little bit mad at my dad because the other day I answered truthfully when I was prompted how do I feel about this job, and I basically told my superior that I was undecided because I basically had only been doing observing for the entire like 3 weeks that I was there. And then eventually, you know, since I was there for like 3 weeks, I only began to show more and more disinterest. So, you know, I decided to eventually leave. I told my mom about it, like how I was just plain miserable over there, and I had no interest towards it. So you know, my dad told me that, like, oh, being truthful in this way is a very, very good way to get fired from your job. And I mean, I guess sure, fair enough. Down the line I did get let go, I guess, but yeah, I just didn't tell my dad at first because I didn't want him to be like I told you so, or any funny business like that. So I told my mom first, and I was planning to tell my dad today, but it looks like I got no trust snitched on. So my mom told me, like, have you found a job yet? I also need to mention that it's literally been less than 24 hours since I had made the decision to quit, and she was already pushing me to find a job. And then when I told her as much, she started getting very, very angry for no fucking reason. And then it went something along the lines of, she said she doesn't appreciate me playing games this way. You know how I'm like inciting a lot of arguments between her and my dad when I decide who to tell first or whatever, which is really fucking stupid if you ask me, because at the end of the day, who I tell is completely up to me. So then we go into this like giant argument about like how she's oh so sympathetic towards me, and then she says I feel, and then she immediately throws a bunch of insults at me, and then she starts asking me why the hell do I hate her so much, and then I just simply tell her because of all the things that you did to me back when I was a child. And then of course she doesn't remember any of the things that she did to me as a child, because, you know, why would she, right? She was not the one being traumatized after all. Funnily enough, you know, it's actually crazy how that works. You torture someone you don't remember, but the torturer does, but the person who gets tortured does. I'm not feeling bad. I'm just explaining that I'm tired because my mom is such an incredible narcissist that she cannot see past her own faults, and she's projecting her feelings onto me. She told me that I should that she was like, Christ Almighty, every single time we argue, you always bring up the past. I was like, yeah, because the past that my past was really fucking dramatic. Was really fucking problematic because of you. It's like you were the root cause behind every single way that it turned out in my life at the end of the day, you know. So, so yeah, she obviously doesn't remember any of the things that she did to me as a child, and then when I tell her, she tells me not to look forward, and then she threw it right back. She has this really common saying by citing that I lack empathy, which is a really fucking crazy statement to make. And the reason, and where did she get this from? When I was from grade 1 to 6, wherever it fucking was. So basically I was like from ages 6 to 12. One of my teachers cited to my parents that I had lacked empathy, and she has basically held this over my head for the entire time. And then when I rightfully called out on her about it, saying that I was fucking like 6 to 12 then, she said that but I didn't start the you have no empathy thing. Your primary school teacher did. It was like, okay, but who's holding on to the past now, right? It's like you want to talk to me about forgetting the past, but you remember what my fucking primary school teacher says about me not having empathy as a 12-year-old kid, and then like the teacher has never said anything to me about that because I don't remember it, but obviously you do, and you've been using it on me ever since. So why the fuck what? So who the fuck's in the past now? You know, your version of recalling stuff that has happened in the past is you know, trying to my teacher telling me that I lack empathy. You wanna know what my version of remembering the past is like? You attempting to castrate me, and my dad literally held me down, and you grabbed scissors or some fucking bullshit like that. You threatened to call the cops on me for not having neat handwriting. You didn't do anything about anything when I was bullied, and in fact you actually went against me when I told you I was being bullied. You told me to find out what's wrong with myself first before you know, before saying that they're bullying me. And when I was a child and this one was a little bit more understandable, but still she was fucking crazy for this. I accidentally slashed some kid because I had one of those, you know, those things that you can like snap onto your wrist, and I took it out, and then I didn't mean to actually hurt the kid, but I accidentally like cut out a bit of his flesh when I was playing around. And then she searched my bag after the whole thing blew over. She found like a broken protractor, and in an attempt to fearmonger me, she grabbed my arm, and then she had the broken protractor in her hand, like she was gonna fucking stab me like that. So, you know, it's like that's the event, that's the things that I remember. But of course, I guess you wouldn't remember that. Obviously, you weren't the one who was being who almost got their dick chopped off, or for that matter, you know, got stabbed, I guess. Why would you remember these things? And then it's just oh, this is Nikolai. So yeah, it just kind of devolved into I remember these things. You tell me to look forward, but you remember this thing, and you've been hanging it over my head ever since. So it's like, what the fuck do you want me to do then? So So I mean, there's a lot of other stupid things that happen, but the ending went something along the lines of her screaming, tell me right now, do you hate me? And when I refused to answer, she came to the conclusion herself that I hated her, which, I mean, of course is true, but you know, even now I'm still deciding against telling her that specifically, because that would make me exactly like her, wouldn't it? So I didn't say anything, but she came to the conclusion herself anyways. I mean, hey, if I didn't hate you before, I definitely do now, so way to play the victim, I guess. Hey Tabor lover. So yeah. All that's to basically say that I'm tired. Sorry, I was I'm a little my throat's a little dry. Ever seen someone eat geese? I think so. So you have alts? Cool. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. If you're using alternate accounts to for just to like joke around or whatever, it's completely fine. I don't have any problem with it as long as you're not using alternate accounts maliciously. So no complaints from me. Wait. Hell yeah, it's just like playing Resident Evil all over again. Can I Ditman glitch? Yeah. But yeah. All that's to say that I'm tired. I'm more tired than usual because of the huge argument or whatever. I'm sorry to, you know, talk about this on stream or whatever, but you know what? It's important to it's important to document things on the internet. So if I suddenly go missing if I suddenly go missing for some odd reason, you can probably assume that my mom did end up killing me. Sounds like you went A to Z. Must have been a lot of stress. It was more so annoying than stress because she sees the world one way and I do the other, and we are constantly bashing heads, and the only resolution was that neither of us pretended that we're both pretending like us arguing didn't happen. So like the moment my dad came back from getting lunch, I literally just went out, ate, she followed suit, and then neither of us talked to each other. As per usual, I guess. Gotta be around creative people. Well, that's the funny thing though, because according to my mom, there are no such things as internet friends. So you get that? None of you actually exist in my mom's eyes. You, the viewers, do not exist according to her. Oh, and you know what's really fucked up? You know, we just visited Red Vault, right? You know the guy, Rips Actual, the guy that's in the memorial in Red Key card. Yeah, he was a really good friend of mine, and he died while I was in active service in the military, and my mom yelled at me during my grieving period, and it really affected me negatively because like, I was. You as well? Oh, she didn't care. It wouldn't have gone to that level. Yeah. So basically, like Rips. I talk about him quite often. Also, speaking of military, this was my old weapon back in the day, by the way. It's a little bit different, but it's basically the same thing. You press these two things here to go and open the cover. You fill the things in, and then obviously this is too heavy to typically carry by yourself. So you typically do this, and I would hold. You typically let's say this is the ground, you hold it like this, and then I would hold it like this, brace my shoulder against here, and then I would go 1 2 1 2 1 2, and yeah, I remember using this carry handle a lot, although I cannot use it. This heat shield, there was my gun had no heat shield around here, so you know, sometimes when I would carry it like this, I would accidentally swing it one way, and then well, after I fired it, it would like burn my stomach. And if you want to like take apart the whole thing, you have to first make sure that the gun is empty, and then afterwards you press this thing down here to go and lift up the buttstock, and then you pull this to have the whole mechanism shoot out, and then you can start cleaning from there. It's pretty cool. They my model of the gun never had this heat shield wrapping around. It was basically just all of this, but this heat shield wrapping is pretty good because it gives you 2 rails at the sides. We didn't really have this rail at the top, but what we had was like 4 screws around here, and you would like attach like a flippy thingy, so you could attach a heat vision scope to the end of this thing, and then if you're at night, you see heat vision, you just flip it up like that, and then and then if you're firing in daytime, you just flip it down, and then yeah, it's a pretty cool gun. But it's not very fun to carry. I will say. It is the nightmare, you know. Considering the fact that like the gun was like a quarter my weight, so I quite confidently say that I didn't really had a lot of fun carrying it around. We also didn't had this. We what I always just carried just the bullet chain around that, and that was basically it. Well, I guess we can take it for a little test drive. So you two are opposites. Well, she's a corporate snake head of her level at the in the business. I'm a deadbeat who lives free and doesn't care about I'm not insecure about my weight like she is. So yeah, we're kind of opposites. Yeah, this would be the about weight that it would be like. These are 7.62 by 51s, I believe. Yeah, but basically she yelled at me like, oh yeah, back to the bong story. She yelled at me during my grieving period, even when my mom told my dad or whatever. So she was very well aware of the fact that I was grieving. And when I brought it up, I think I'm gonna run this gun from now on. But basically, when I had brought it up to her during the argument that she always cites the lack of empathy thing, even when she herself had zero empathy to not be sensitive about me when when I was grieving and all. She stated that he was from the US and it didn't matter because he's not a local friend. So basically, if anyone else is in another country, you don't matter. So you're from America, right? If you die, you don't matter because you're from America, not from Asia. Crazy, right? She's 100% projecting because she constantly harps about my lack of empathy when she can barely she can barely barely, you know, be empathetic in any bit herself. And yeah, once again, I'm sorry for bringing like the mood down. I don't mean to like air my dirty laundry, but you know what, man? It's like if I don't talk about it, it's just gonna stay bubbled up, and I'm just gonna get more mad down the line, you know, because she thinks she's right, I think I'm right, and there goes the pastor prince. She's a Buddhist, not a Christian. I can tell you if she was Christian, she has a one ticket to hell already. Which you know what? Actually, being a Christian, being a Buddhist for her is actually good, because there are about 7 hells in Buddhism, and if she believes that praying to the goddess of mercy will spare her, then she's very, very mistaken. Tough one there? Yeah, well, sometimes you know, Asians, am I right? Got a lot. We didn't get a lot of XP from that one, but we didn't really stick around for long because we had so many weapons. I think I'm gonna start running this from now on. I'm gonna retire retire this.
Please do not forget to store your armor and gear in the appropriate areas.
I'm sorry, Collector, you have been faithful, but unfortunately, we gotta do something awesome. I've had a couple of these before, but I didn't actually shoot it until now. Imagine being a bad person in the one religion that canonically has more hells than any of the others. I don't know. Seems like a bad idea. Connection terminated. Thank you, Tabor Tickler. I argue you do have empathy. You could drive her crazy if you wanted to. I'd say just give her a lot of space. Oh, that's actually really funny because she claims that she was the one giving me space by refusing to talk to me because her day would be ruined otherwise. But you know what? It's once again neither here nor there. I say one thing, she says the other. We disagree, and we will never reach a resolution. Big whoop, I guess. I'm perfectly content with what I'm doing right now, and if she cannot accept that, then that's her fucking problem, quite frankly. Alright, well, we need to test how many bullets is in one of these things, because this looks really small, but then again the other one also held like 100 bullets. So I also had one of these back in the day, but it attached itself to over here instead of down here, and my thing could only hold 50 rounds, so yeah, I think it'll only hold 50 rounds. And if this thing holds only 50 rounds, then I'm gonna need to carry a lot more. I'm gonna need to go carry more magazines, even though it looks like it's already heavier. So. She only says I don't have empathy. I'm like I know I'm not saying that I lack empathy. It's just that I know she's wait, what? That's actually a little bit weird that oh, you folded in that way. I see. M240B. What? Huh? What? Why does it say M240B? Don't tell me you take unique ammunition. Ah. Yeah, it's 7.62 by 51. So why does it tell me M240B? It's okay. So it uses the same caliber. Back then. Sorry. Hold on. I need to see how many bullets does one of these things have. Have you killed new boss in PVE? I guess so. Alright, 93 bullets. Okay, so it's currently holding 93. Okay, so it holds 100 bullets. Okay. So same as the other guy. I'm sure you're happy from streaming and not getting sick from your work. I'm happy streaming, but I mean, unfortunately, at the same time, I'm also a realist, and I recognize that, you know, streaming is not really gonna earn me any money for a little while. So. Also, this thing doesn't well, one, I don't know about this gun specifically, but this thing pulls back and stays this way until you start firing it. So. Well, when I was using it anyways. Man, it's gonna be so inaccurate to use this. Not gonna get sick from work. Well, I mean, I only have 2 days of work left, cause my work has a 3-day notice. So I said that I wanted to resign on Friday. So Friday's the first day, and then Monday and Tuesday will be my last 2 days, and then afterwards I'll be out of a job again. Also, I should put a suppressor on this. A suppressor on this thing would be quite stupid in real life, but this is a video game, so we can suspend our disbelief for a little while. Why don't you get a slightly lower paid job while trying to find a new job? Well, I'll tell you the exact same thing I told my mom, and it's that I've only been unemployed for less. I've only decided to quit yesterday, and it's only been 24 hours, and it hasn't even been 24 hours since I quit. So can we at least take a little break before I decide to go job hunting again? Like, is that too much to ask in general? Because apparently for my mom it was too much, and that's what started all the fucking yelling and shit. But once again, you know, it's. I don't think Like, honestly, like I'm not even sure like at this point in time anymore if I even want, like, if it was as simple as just becoming a YouTuber and getting money from YouTubing. If I was earning at least like $2,000 a month from YouTubing, I would be a very, very happy man, and I would be completely content. But at the same time, that kind of job is also really, really, you know, well, that's what you say, but that's fully what she expected me to do. Sounds not the silence version sounds nothing like. Sounds completely different. Jeepnish.
Ty zabił pan.
But you know what? As I've already said, whatever she wants to think. If she thinks that it's realistic for me to already have a job lined up, when I only decided literally yesterday to put in my notice to quit, then she's pretty fucking dumb for a bank manager. It's actually appalling that she manages a level of a bank, and is so stupid to realize that what I want versus what she wants are two completely different things. I'm already almost dead. What the fuck? Take your time, decide what you want to do, and do that. Well, I know what I want to do. It's this, you know, streaming, doing YouTube. I know I don't make the best videos right now, but then again, I find it very hard to do that when I was working. 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. on all these days. So you're not far from YouTube monetizing. It's still a decent chance. But yeah, it's all about time, and I really need to start uploading videos again. But as it currently stands, I'm still really on this Tabor grind, cause actually it's funny enough also for a video. It's for a video where I you know, where I reach level 5 in Tabor and get the Omega Secure Container, because that's been my entire goal. And I mean, I was talking about, you know, being unemployed and whatnot, and as a result of being unemployed, I would not be able to farm the next wipe as extensively. But since I'm gonna be unemployed on starting Tuesday, you know, I could tell you really wanted to have a job and jump into it. Yeah, I think that's where the mistake lies. I was in it because it paid well. It paid relatively well for a job with no experience. And then when I got to it, and then I was just fence sitting because I wasn't allowed to do anything. I ended up getting extremely disinterested because they weren't properly training me. So I just got disinterested, and they started citing me for attitude problems and introversion, if you can believe that. And then I decided, like, yeah, if this is the way things are going, then I don't need to stick around, really. It's not exactly like I lost, but like I'm losing out on anything either, because I got my paycheck, and I'm still getting paid. I got my paycheck Thursday, and I'm still getting paid for yesterday, which is Friday, and Monday and Tuesday. Like they're not going to scam me out of a paycheck or anything, you know. And they're kind enough to even let me keep the money for my 3 days notice. So see, that's the thing, right? Like when I first entered this job, I was under the impression that I was gonna be helping patients, and in a certain way, I am helping patients, but it's not really as hands-on as I would have liked. The funniest thing was that the only thing that the whole patient service associate executive or whatever was more concerned with billing patients than it was like physically helping them. And the only time I actually enjoyed doing my job was when I was deviated off of doing learning how to bill people in exchange for like being at the self-registration assisting at the self-registration kiosk, helping people to you know, get to self-register, explaining to them anything they do not understand. That's the one aspect of the job that I like. The job that is for the quote-unquote house assistant. So, I mean, I don't know. If I want to become a house assistant, I can, but I guarantee you it's gonna pay even less. But I've also decided to just resign because you know, I think working in the healthcare industry is inherently like a bad decision if you are showing any form of disinterest, because you know, it's healthcare. You know, people are sick, and if you mess up in any way, people are gonna die, and I don't want to end up killing someone through my irresponsibility or anything of that sort, you know. And that's honestly, funnily enough, probably the most empathetic thing that I can do. So screw you, Mom. Losing your job would be traveling 2 hours. Losing would be traveling 2 hours a day to a job you hate for a whole year. Actually, that's really crazy, because now that you mention it, there's also that, because in like the past 3 weeks, I've had to sink about $30 into transport alone, just to get to $30 in 3 weeks is just for transport alone is it's kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's not exactly like a big amount, but it's not that small either, especially for taking the train. So I'm hoping whatever. If they think they aren't training you properly, they should acknowledge that and talk to you to make it more understandable. Or get someone else who works there to talk to you differently. But the fact of the matter is they weren't going to train me properly, because I was only under a 1-year contract anyway. So what they were gonna teach me was very limited. I mean, I could have extended the 1-year contract, the 1-year contract, of course, swap it to full time if I really like the job, but also, you know, it's like at the end of the day, why am I surprised that my gun only has a safe and a? That's kind of weird. So on this gun specifically, the safety is right here. This is, hold on. The safety is right here, and if you push it to the left, it fires. If you push it in, and it's not moving. So I'm a little bit curious about that. At the end of the day, I don't regret the decision to leave, because if they were gonna take 2 to 3 months, which is my trial period to train, then they're sticking around, and you know, eventually my interest will wane, and then I'll not put any effort into it. I'm getting annoyed. Can I put this on here? Yeah. Wait, why is it miss a line? Why is it not a line? Hold on. Something's not right. Okay, well this'll do, I guess. I mean, I'm not really ADSing anyways. Yeah, this'll do better. Crap. Actually train me properly. Well, I mean, certain jobs don't really require much training, or you know, obstinately faster. Because I honestly, I was expecting like by my second week to be trained in the system, into how to use the epic system, and I'm not joking. That's the actual name of the system. It's called the epic system, and I was fully expecting to be trained on how to use it 2 weeks in, because it's not rocket science. I honestly, but you know, apparently I got reprimanded. So I wish I was joking when I said they had an issue. They scolded my buddy, or whatever you want to call it, for letting me do a bit of hands-on, and then they immediately backpedaled afterwards and said that I should start doing a lot of hands-on, because they are not gonna train me. Actually, it's really funny because my parents got bent out of shape when I told them that I wasn't gonna be trained. So my clinic had four disciplines, and basically what it means by disciplines, like medicine expertise, and it was basically general medicine, so just like basically like any specific thing that is like not very like world ending. You have, and then you have hematology, which is blood work, and then we also have oncology, which is cancer, and then we had palliative, which is like severe chronic diseases that are basically like to the point of they can't be cured anymore and require, and it's more about discussing what makes the patient mostly comfortable before they eventually pass. And on the side of chemotherapy, it's a little different because it's, well, cancer patients after all. So they instructed me that I would not be working in the area of chemotherapy as much as the others. So during one period in time, they dragged me out of doing chemotherapy, like observing, and then they brought me to do room assisting. A crash? Oh, yeah, it's just you, like. So they took me out of that to go and do other stuff, and apparently it was like a misconception or something. Like that wasn't actually supposed to be the case, but I told my parents about it, and then they immediately thought that I fucked up something to they immediately thought I fucked up somewhere to warrant them not training me for chemotherapy anymore, which is pretty fucking crazy, because it really still goes to show like the double standard that they have, that they talk all this shit, and then about about me not having empathy when even when it came to the point where I literally did nothing wrong, they still assume that I did something wrong. So it's like, you know, what's the fucking point of trying to explain things to you if you're just gonna take everything wrongly, I guess. What's good? Hello, hello. Hello, gamer. How are we doing today? Hope all is well so far. We're just still doing the new event as per usual. Can I like do this? It certainly didn't make it easy to. It's literally just a pull away, but yep, like so. Sounds like a bunch of assholes. Excuse your attitude. It is what it is. Yeah, a lot of the patients that are there for chemotherapy tend to be very, very cranky because, you know, it's a potentially life-ending disease, right? So I've been nothing but patient with most of them, and apparently you know, it's like, and apparently I was showing attitude or whatever. You know, excuse me for being bored out of my bahongas, I guess, my hongalagongas. Okay. I need to go and take a quick pee. I will be right back, which is crazy because I haven't drank anything since this morning. You know, guys, I'm considering keeping my hair long, and it's mostly because uh, rent. No, I don't have a. I don't know how to set that up. I mean, I could ask Stacks, of course, but I don't really want to just steal his idea. But anyways, as I was saying, I was thinking about keeping long hair, And that's mostly because when I was washing my hands, I looked at myself in the mirror, and I adjusted my hair, and then I realized like, and then I came to the very horrifying conclusion that you know, my forehead is four diagonal fingers high. It's like the my this is how high this is how high my forehead is, and I'm a yeah, that's how high. So maybe it's a good idea to maybe keep some to keep some hair, cause it's probably not the best. Let's play standing up for a bit. Damn, oh my god, OnlyFans? Wait, actually though, I could sell feet pictures. You know, it's actually really funny you talk about OnlyFans, because there was this one point in time where I had a funny meme idea, right? So if you think about it, for those of you on YouTube, my handle is Okami, right? But I actually have a last name to Okami called Well, as you can see, it's Okami Fuyu. It's short for Okami Fuyuhito, which is like Winter Wolf or something. And I had this idea, you know, because you know, OnlyFans, Okami Fuyu, so so yeah, I went into like I went and looked up the I went and looked up the font of OnlyFans, and then I did like a OnlyFans font generator, and then I printed out my name, and it's still in my PC actually. Like I still have the PNG of Okami Fuyuhito in the OnlyFans font. Funnily enough, so. I think Stack said he might stream on Twitch on Saturday PST. So yeah, I mean, hey, you know, if people are into feet pics, I will provide at a subscription cost, of course. Nothing in this world is free. Plus, I have a lot of sex toys, so I could also go down that way if I wanted to, you know. But I hit them with that furry shit. Aren't you like, you know, below the legal age? And that would be very weird if you walked in on your sister doing something, or if you even have a girlfriend at this point, because what the hell are you doing young and in love? You know? Look, the average human life expectancy is like what, 70 to 80 years old, right? What are you doing getting girlfriends at 15? Like, you can bash me when I'm 30 and single, but if you're telling me that you're like I don't know, like 15 and already have a girlfriend or something, it's like, huh? What are you doing? joking or no? I don't know. You're the one who were talking about walking in on someone doing something. So you tell me. I could be like Nikocado Avocado, except without the mukbangs. Or the getting fat part, I guess. You know. I could be. Oh, I should open up a Cameo. Do I actually have sex toys? Yes, I do. What do you think this is? Like, come on, man. I'm like 22 and I'm 22. Like, why wouldn't I? Hey, everyone's gotta have something down the line eventually, unless you are comfortable with only using the hand for the rest of your life. Which, I mean, the hand is nice and all, but you can only use the hand so many times. This one's the jorker, this one's the finisher. Oh my god. I mean, why wouldn't I have, like, anyone who is sexually active in general would have one. It's not like it's an abnormal thing to own. The only thing about it is don't show it on Twitch or YouTube or anything like that, and you'll be good to go. I mean, it's not exactly like, I mean, it's complete human nature to own stuff like this anyways, so. Okay, here we go. SSD, yes. U, yes, and a U, a yes. Five Nights at Freddy's on TV. Oh yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's 2. They have the new Five Nights at Freddy Fazbear Freddy Fazbear. Come on, you know all about Five Nights at Freddy's. You love Five Nights at Freddy's, Remember that time when they said her. Remember? You remember. You're eating the 20 collector kits. Bum bum ba bum 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 ba bum bum ba ba bum bum ba ba do 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 do. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of having fun with my old LCD. Amen, Zoop. I would think that I would be like having fucking flashbacks and shit from from back in the day, but no. It seems it's performing relatively well yeah, being for my old military weapon. You're saying there's like you roll 34 of collector or something? Now you got me intrigued. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. I mean, it's a war zone, so not a lot of room for love. Maybe I should open the thing like this. There we go. Actually, would it? Well, okay. Look at that, we finally used the bipod. You know, this thing comes with a very funny attachment. You see this weird random hole over here and over here as well. This is, hold on. These two holes are for a tripod that's heavier than the gun itself, and they made us carry it on occasion during missions, and it was very. Actually, hold on. I'm pretty sure I have the. Oh, you need AP ammo. This thing. Hold on. I'm pretty sure somewhere in my room I have the bullet loop thing that I used to that I used to make my assistant carry. Give me 1 second. Gosh. Well, I guess then again, this bullet loop thing that I used to wear would always. Hello? Am I back? Hello? Hello? Can anyone hear me? My internet took a dump and everything completely gave out.